Cycle design has come a long way in the last 100 years. We've gone from heavy steel frames to aluminium frames, then on to lightweight carbon frames. We've gone from heavy rims to very lightweight carbon rims. We've moved on from solid tyres through to tube tyres and then on to TPU tubes. We've got radar to show us what's coming up behind us. We've got suspension stems. We've got suspension seat posts. The list goes on. But there's one thing that hasn't changed in over 125 years, and that's this, the Presta valve. It was a Frenchman, Etienne Sclaveland, who invented the Presta valve in the late 19th century, and it hasn't changed since. The Schrader, or car-type valve, was invented at about the same time, and that was to meet the move from solid bicycle tyres to pneumatic tyres. But Sclaveland realised that the Schrader was too big to use with narrow racing bike tyres, so Presta was born. But if you use Schrader valves, keep watching as there's something in this for you. Now today, wider bicycle tyres can use the Schrader valve, but the Presta is still the standard for most road and gravel cycles, especially as the Schrader valve cores can't be removed for filling with tubeless sealant. Having said that, I never fill through the valve anyway. You either get on with Presta or you don't, and personally I loathe them. That silly sealing pin has to be unscrewed to fill, but then doesn't always allow air to flow without it being pressed slightly first. Probably why it's called Presta. And that's if the pump head fits correctly first time. And that same pin can easily become bent over time and eventually snap. And how many of us have removed a screw-in pump only to take an insecure valve insert with it? And tubeless users will have experienced blocked valves due to the narrow air entry of the Presta due to that pin taking up vital space. So when subscriber Why Not Me suggested I look at the new Clik system from Schwalbe, I got hold of some. Now if you buy the conversion kit from Schwalbe, you'll get the pump head converter, 2 valves, 2 click-on dust caps and a valve removal tool. Fitting is as simple as unscrewing the existing Presta valve and screwing in the Clik replacement. If you're using the pump adapter, it simply replaces your existing pump head and the result is a satisfying positive click and a firm fit. And the good news for Schrader valve users is there is an adapter that will allow you to easily use the Clik system too. But what about when you're out on the road and need a pump or want to help someone in trouble? Do you need an adapter for each pump? The answer is no. In fact, you don't even need the Clik pump adapter at all, as all push-on pumps will fit the Clik valve, just without the Clik. I've tried it with a standard track pump, which not only fitted, but it was a firm fit, much firmer than with the Presta. An electric pump fitted well, and also my mini pump. I even tried it with a CO2 inflator head and that fitted perfectly. And for CO2 users, the Clik valve delivers up to twice the airflow of the Presta valve, so inflation will be even faster if that's possible. This increased airflow will also help with seating tubeless tyres, but more about that in a moment. Unlike Presta valves, where you pump to the correct pressure only to lose air when you disconnect, there is no air loss at all when disconnecting from the Clik valve. Now there are those companies that only copy the innovators, and we all know who they are, and there are those that invest and pioneer to take the industry forward, and Schwalbe are clearly in the latter camp. They are the company that gave us the tubeless easy tyre system that makes seating and sealing tyres possible with just a track pump. This is one of the major barriers to conversion to tubeless, so anything that makes tubeless more acceptable has to be good. I use Schwalbe G1 all-round gravel tyres with the TLE system and I only had one failed seating attempt with the track pump, and I think that was probably due to the restricted airflow of the Presta valve. So with twice the airflow delivered through the Clik valve, I expect 100% success with the track pump alone. Now I'm sure the Clik valve will also clog with sealant. If it didn't, the sealant wouldn't be doing its job, but the increased size of the Clik valve's air passage is likely to make it less frequent. In more good news, Schwalbe will soon be supplying tubes with Clik valves already installed, and SKS will be supplying Clik ready pumps. Now, just like when the Tyre Glider was launched, there will be people who don't see the need as they're totally happy with the way they've always done it. And the good news is they don't need to change anything. But my test for the effectiveness of a new product is to turn the situation on its head. If the one-piece click system with its firm seal and high airflow had been standard for the last 100 years, would you change to a new system that had half the airflow, required a pin to be unscrewed before inflation, is often gummed up with tubeless sealant, didn't always allow air to flow straight away, and the core could unscrew with a screw-on pump? Would you really change to that? So do you think this is a positive move forward in valve technology? Will you change? Or are you happy with a century-old design? Answers please in the comments. I'm pleased to say that the valves are supplied at a sensible price and plenty of retailers are selling them. I've added an Amazon affiliate link in the description, but your usual cycle retailer should stock them. If you found this review helpful, I'd be grateful if you would give the video a like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. And of course, if you know anyone else that would be interested in these, please share with them. And finally, this review came about as the result of a subscriber suggestion. So if there's a product you would like me to review, then please let me know. So I hope you'll join me again in the future. And until then, I'll say bye for now.